Hello everybody and welcome. This is EDS here, and I know I'm just a day or two late to the party, but considering I was just moving into my new apartment yesterday, kind of understandable. Plus, given the situation from my previous two update videos, you guys could probably assume why I haven't gotten to this yet. But as a Pokemon YouTuber, or at least a Nintendo-based YouTuber with a primary focus on Pokemon, how could I not make some sort of a video on the recent Pokemon Direct that we got? I believe it was on the 6th, which was yesterday. Not 100% sure on that. Kind of a little hectic yesterday. Either way, by the way, forgive the echo that you're going to hear throughout this and any other scripted video I do for the time being, because I'm in my bedroom, and there's no furniture in here yet. So there's nothing to bounce the sound waves off. It's just bouncing around like a damn ping pong ball. But anyway, that's not what you're here for. So I'm not going to do a serious analysis of the trailer. I'll leave that to people who have better skepticism than I do, plus the fact that that probably will copyright because of the fact that Nintendo doesn't like having their trailers in the videos of other YouTubers. So I'll go ahead and leave that out of the loop for now. But what I really wanted to talk about was some of the new features of the new Pokemon that were introduced in the trailer, which I suppose for now we'll actually start with the new features. This Dynamax feature seems really stupid to me. Not just because you're taking a Pokemon and just making it Godzilla size for no reason. Stupid fucking thing, go away. That's a trick, whatever. Anyway, but mostly because, like, it says it right here, it lasts 3 turns and can be done only once per battle. It was bad enough when we had the Z moves last generation. Don't get me wrong, I do sort of like Z moves, but the fact that they are so much inferior to Mega Evolutions just really made me dislike them compared to Megas. Now, granted, they're not terrible. They can actually put a lot of good usage into certain Pokemon, but with Pokemon that need a Mega Stone, Z moves are pretty much pointless, and everything else, I mean, Z moves can only be used once. If you could use a Z move 3 times per battle, maybe I wouldn't have such a hard time with it, but it's the same stipulation as Mega Evolutions with almost none of the benefits. You don't get a permanently strong party member in your party until that Pokemon faints. You get a single move to nuke the opponent, which is cool in terms of the animation. But I'll get into that another time. Point is that we're dealing with this new feature called Dynamax, and I just don't get the point. I mean, it's not... Okay, granted, I haven't played the game yet, so I don't know if this is going to be really important. But from the trailers that I saw, it did show that, like, Dynamax battles are, like, most of the gym leaders have them. And doesn't that just kind of defeat the purpose? It's like having every gym leader have a Mega form, but the Mega Evolution being pretty much the same Pokemon every time. I just think it's going to, if it's not done properly, it's going to sour the sort of originality of the concept to just have it over and over and over again. Like, every generation has had its own gimmick, obviously, but at least in the terms of those gimmicks, they were either well implemented into the story, or they were used very sporadically. Like, for example, triple battles in Generation 5, that was technically a mechanic, or hidden grottos as well in Generation 5 Part 2, which were considered more side things than they were main event part of the deal. And then you have, like, I don't know, double battles in Generation 3 when they were introduced and stuff like that, and Mega Evolutions in Gen 6, which were introduced, but they weren't given to every single Pokemon, although I wish they were sometimes. You know, that type of thing. And I just hope that this Dynamax battle system does not become so prevalent in the game that it's, like, more than 5 to 10% of all battles in the entire game. It's a gimmick. Leave it as a gimmick. You don't need to overemphasize a gimmick. But along with this become with max moves. When a Pokemon's move is Dynamax, their moves will turn into max moves. These moves vary depending on the type of the move and the category. For example, status moves change into a max guard, while damaging moves change into different moves based on their types with effects. This is literally the exact same thing as Z moves. It is literally the same thing as a fucking Z move. So they basically just incorporated Z moves with Dynamax. I don't know if that's a good thing yet. I don't know if it's a bad thing. We'll have to see. But last with the Dynamax is max raid battles, where it's basically you and multiple other trainers facing off against one Dynamax Pokemon. I think this concept was introduced in Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. I don't own those games. I have not played those games. I have no interest in playing those games. Those are not main series Pokemon games, so I don't have an interest in them. But from all the reviews and walkthroughs and Let's Plays that I have seen on the games, this is something similar to that, and I don't really like max rate battles. I didn't like the concept of Pokemon Go. I know, shocking considering I'm a Pokemon nut freak, but whatever. But no, I don't like Pokemon Go very much, and I didn't like Pokemon Let's Go Eevee and Pikachu either, and this is kind of one of the reasons why. The max raid battles, I consider the fact that I do like playing Pokemon multiplayer, but only when I have my own set of Pokemon to go up against them in a one-on-one or two-on-two battle. When it comes to the main story of the game, I prefer to do that 100% single player. If max raid battles are essentially have to be done with more than one player at a time, then this battle system will either be completely impossible to complete in a normal story mode playthrough, or it will have to be done with bots, which the track record with bots with Pokemon games, they're never good. Just look at the double battles and the Battle Maison. They suck sometimes. But that's kind of what I'm just going to say about max raid battles and max Dynamax and all that stuff. Not too big of a fan, to be quite frank here. But, you know, hopefully it's not too crazy. So, on to what I really want to talk about. I wanted to get that junk out of the way first because I am... every time a new generation comes out, I'm not caring so much about the additional features. I'm not caring so much about how pretty the game looks, although Sword and Shield look fucking gorgeous. My main concern with a new Pokemon game is the new Pokemon. As you guys know, we had introduction of the starter Pokemon for the region, the Grookey the Grass Starter, Scorbunny the Fire Starter, and Sobble the Water Starter. Still not sure who I'm going to pick, but I definitely can almost assure you that it's not going to be Grookey. I'm probably going to be getting both Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield when they come out, and I'm probably going to pick Scorbunny for one and Sobble for the other. I'm not sure which yet exactly. But among the new Pokemon were introduced was this adorable little sheep-looking thing called Wooloo. It's a normal-type Pokemon without the ability Fluffy, which is the same ability that Stuffle and Beware possess as well. Also has Runaway, which is pretty pointless, but whatever. But I do think it's kind of adorable. I like its little puffy design. It kind of reminds me of Mareep, only white and a normal type. So I really like its idea. I'm positive this can't be its first form. This might be the Rattata, or Rattata, depending on the pronunciation, of the Galar region. We're not sure yet, obviously, but that's kind of what it looks like just coming from the design of it. That's kind of what I'm expecting. Then we have Gossifleur, the grass Pokemon, the flowering Pokemon with ability Cotton Down and Regenerator. I believe Cotton Down is also a new ability. I'd have to clarify myself on that, but it's probably just a generic looking little grass Pokemon. It probably isn't going to be very powerful, probably have high special defense or something. You know, just standard procedure with that one. Then we have Eldegoss, which I can only assume is Gossifleur's evolution, which looks to be a little bit similar to, I would assume it's something like a cottonweed, or whatever it's called, cotton bloom. I know it's a cotton-based Pokemon, but the first thing I thought of was one of those little flowers that you used to blow on when you were a kid to like make a wish or something. I can't remember what it was called off the top of my head. But that's kind of the design it's giving me right now. It's got a face similar to Blossom, although maybe it's more towards Roselia. Kind of hard to tell. But I don't think this is the final form either. It could be, but if it isn't, I'd expect it to evolve at least one more time and probably become pretty powerful. Definitely better in special defense, HP, and special attack than anything else, just given by the design. Then we have one of the neatest looking evolution, or the neatest looking Pokemon, Dreadnought. We've kind of seen the water rock type done to fucking death, so it is possible that Dreadnought could be a fossil Pokemon. Doubtful, but not impossible. It definitely seems to be like a tanky Pokemon, something with high defense, high attack, high HP, but poor everything else. Standard procedures similar to how we had Torkoal from Generation 3 and Turtonator from Generation 7. I'm not minding it though because I do love its design, that giant jawline. It's a snapping turtle. I don't think we've actually had a snapping turtle yet, to be honest. I'd have to clarify on that, but I don't think we have. But I'm definitely looking forward to seeing if this thing evolves or not. But to the real meat of the game, of this little area here, we have Corviknight. Oh god, I love this Pokemon. I love the design. It is a flying steel type. I assumed it would be a steel dark type, actually, or a flying dark type, but no. They went the steel route, which I really like because it does fit more with its armor-like design. This is apparently the Pokemon that is going to be used as a substitute for the Fly HM, similar to how Charizard was used in Generation 7 with the Ride Pager. This is the Pokemon that's going to be able to fly you to and from regions and to and from routes. So this Pokemon is not only going to be an awesome, badass Pokemon to use in battle, but it's also going to be fucking cool riding as well. Hopefully they actually have a full 3D animation of you riding Corviknight, because that would be awesome as fuck. I don't know if Corviknight is going to be a final form, or if it's going to be one of two. I don't know if this is even just a single Pokemon. I would not be surprised if it was just a single Pokemon, kind of like its other Steel Flying brethren, Skarmory and Celesteela. Who knows? We will have to wait and see, but I do think, just by looking at its design, high HP, really high attack, good defense, low special, good special defense, and probably roughly decent speed if this is a single Pokemon or if it's a final evolution. Now this unnamed Pokemon here, I'm not concerned about that because we, again, don't know a name, so I'm just going to move past it. And then we get to the real meat of the game. Why these games are called Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield. Zacian and Zamazenta. I don't know exactly how to pronounce Zacian. It could be Zacian, Zacian. I'm going to go with Zacian because I like Zacian a little bit better. Zacian is probably the cooler of the two designs, obviously, but then again, I am a swordsman, so I do prefer swords over shields. This is me anyway. And I swear to God, if they go with the theme of the Shield Hero anime that's been going on recently, and have a fucking staff Pokemon and an arrow Pokemon, I'm gonna be fucking killing myself. But anyway, Zacian looks to me like it would probably be some variant of a Steel type. Not sure exactly what kind. But it is definitely the cooler looking of the two. Given the little fleurs on the side of its back, it is a potentiality that it could have flying type moves. I mean, I know it's most likely going to have aerial race. It kind of looks like a Lycanroc almost, covered in like blue, red, and yellow armor. It's just really badass looking. I love it. But as far as typing concerns, well, I mean, I'm thinking something involved with steel. Maybe it's kind of hard to tell. I only think steel because of its design, but it could be like a water steel type. I could see that happening. But we'll have to see when we come up some more information as the games come out. It's obviously going to have a base stat total of 680, considering it's the box legendary. I think it's going to be a pretty even spread, but it's going to have higher speed, lower special, lower HP, and then higher special attack, defense, and attack power. And then we come across Zamazenta, which is probably one of the bulkiest looking Pokemon I've ever fucking seen. It's literally got a face for a shield. Zamazenta, I can also picture as being half steel. Its primary typing, though, I would probably have to go with something like ground or maybe even psychic, although that would be kind of redundant considering we had Solgaleo last generation. As far as any other types, possibly fire. I could see it being a fire steel type if Zacian is a Zacian. We'll go with Zacian because I don't know. But Zamazenta's name is at least more easy to pronounce. So, but I'm hoping Zamazenta. I'm thinking obviously bulky defensive Pokemon. Really good defense, really good special defense, really good HP, but probably a bit lacking in the offensive stats and speed, similar to how Lugia was in Generation 2. Although Lugia was still really fast. But I could imagine Zamazenta being probably one of the first pseudo-legendary, or one of the first box legendaries to have a base stat higher than 150. I could imagine its defense stat alone being 180 or even 200 if they want to go way off the bat with it. But again, as far as typing, it's kind of hard to tell, but I think they're both going to be based somehow on steel types given the nature of swords and shields. But yeah, we'll just have to go ahead and see later down the road. So yeah, guys. That's all I wanted to talk about. I just wanted to talk about my thoughts generally on the Pokemon and the, like I said, the new feature of Dynamax battles, which I mean, it's, oh, that's right, there's one other thing I wanted to cover, the wild areas. This is something pretty small, but supposedly there's like new areas where you can just encounter wild Pokemon in the overworld, similarly how you could do so in Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. Now, what my real hope is that these wild areas are not just open areas, like, separate from a route. I really hope they're involved with the routes, or that these are the routes. I would really love that. That's one of the few things that I did like of the mechanics in Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, that you could just walk up to a Pokemon and encounter it instead of having to rely on really low percentage random chance, which was really cool, and I did like that a lot. Despite the fact that I never played the game, I did see it plenty of times, so I really hope that's the case with these new games as well. But anyway, guys, that's going to go ahead and do it for this video. First new video in the new apartment. Really happy. But yeah, kind of weird to just upload this, but I wanted to get my thoughts out. I've been stewing on this all night. Finally got some sleep, thank God. But anyway, so that's going to do it for me today, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys like to support the channel, links to my Twitter, my Patreon, and my Let's Play channel are in the description down below, so support me out the ability to. And until next time, this has been ZDS. Make it keep it fun one video at a time, and I will see you guys in the next video.